Hey guys, it's Cassidy again, and today we're going to read our next part of Children of Blood and Bone. I hope you guys are having a great holiday season. Alright, so last time we left off on Chapter 9. So, Chapter 9, Zaylee. Eloran is entirely too peaceful. At least it feels that way after today. Coconut boats pull against their anchors, sheets fall over the dome of Ahiri entrances. The village sets with the sun, making way for a calm night's sleep. Amari's eyes widen with wonder as we sail through the water and head toward Mama Agba's on Nyla's back. She takes in every inch of the floating village like a starving laborer placed before a majestic feast. "I've never seen anything like this," she whispers. "It's mesmerizing." I breathe in the fresh scent of the sea, closing my eyes as mist sprays my face. The taste of salt on my tongue makes me imagine what would happen if Amari wasn't there. A fresh loaf of sweet bread, a nice cut of spiced meat. For once, we'd go to sleep with full bellies, a celebratory meal in my name. My frustration reignites at Amari's ignorant bliss. Princess that she is, she's probably never missed a meal in her entire pampered life. "Give me your headdress," I snap when Nyla docks in the merchant quarter. The wonder drops from Amari's face and she stiffens. "But Binta..." She pauses, collecting herself. "I wouldn't have this if it weren't for my handmaiden. It's the only thing of hers I have left. I don't care if the gods gave you that wretched thing. We can't have people finding out who you are." "Don't worry," Zay adds gently. "She'll throw it in her pack, not the sea." I glare at his attempt to comfort her, but his words do the trick. Amari fiddles with the clasp and drops the glittering jewels into my pack. The shimmer they add to the shine of silver coins is absurd. This morning I didn't have a bronze piece to a name. Now I'm weighed down by the riches of royals. I crouch on Nyla's back and pull myself onto the small wooden walkway. I poke my head around Mama Agba's curtained door to find Baba sleeping soundly in the corner, curled up like a wild cat in front of a heated flame. His skin has its color back. His face isn't so skeletal and gaunt. Must be Mama Agba's cure. She could nurse a corpse back to life. When I enter, Mama Agba peeks her head out from behind a mannequin stitched into a brilliant purple caftan. The fitted seams suggest that it's noble bound, a sail that might cover her next tax. "How'd it go?" she whispers, cutting the thread with her teeth. She adjusts the green and yellow yali wrapped around her head before tying up the captain's loose ends. I open my mouth to respond, but Zane steps in, tentatively followed by Amari. She looks around with an innocence only luxury can breed, running her fingers over the woven reeds. Zane gives Mama Agba a grateful nod as he takes my pack, pausing to hand Amari the scroll. He lifts Baba's sleeping body with ease. Baba doesn't even stir. "I'm going to get our things," he says. "Decide what we're doing about this scroll. If we go..." His voice trails off, and my stomach tightens with guilt. There's no if anymore. I've taken that choice away. Just be fast. Zane leaves, biting his emotions back. I watch as his hulking frame disappears, wishing I wasn't the source of his pain. "Leave?" Mama Agba asks. "Why would you leave? And who is this?" Her eyes narrow as she looks at Amari up and down. Even in a dingy cloak, Amari's perfect posture and lifted chin denote her regal nature. Amari turns to me, her grip tightening on the scroll. I am... Her name's Amari," I sigh. "She's the princess of Orisha." Mama Agba releases a deep laugh. "It's an honor, your highness," she teases with an exaggerated bow. But when neither Amari nor I smile, Mama's eyes go wide. She rises from her seat and opens Amari's cloak, revealing the dark blue gown beneath. Even in the dim light, the deep neckline shimmers with glittering jewels. "Oh my gods!" She turns to me, hands clutching her chest. "Zaylee, what in God's name have you done?" I force Mama Agba to sit as I explain the details of the day. While she wavers between pride and anger over the details of our escape, it's the possibility of the scroll that makes her go still. "Is it real?" I ask. "Is there any truth to this?" Mama's silent for a long moment, staring at the scroll in Amari's hands. For once her dark eyes are unreadable, obscuring the answers I seek. "Give it here." The moment the parchment touches Mama Agba's palms, she wheezes for air. Her body trembles and quakes so violently she falls off her chair. "Mama Agba!" I run to her side and grab her hand, holding her down until the tremors stop. With time, they fade and she's left on the ground, as still as one of her mannequins. Mama, are you okay? Tears come to her eyes, spilling it into the wrinkles of her dark skin. It's been so long, she whispers. I never thought I would feel the warmth of magic again. My lips part in surprise and I back up, unable to believe my ears. It can't be. I didn't think any magi survived the raid. You're magi? Amari asks. But your hair. Mama Agba removes her gaily and runs her hand over her shaved head. 11 years ago, I had a vision of myself visiting a cancer. I asked her to get rid of my white hair, and she used the magic of disease to take it all away. You're a seer? I gasp. I used to be, Mama Agba nods. I lost my hair the days of the raid, hours before they would have taken me away. Amazing. When I was a child, the few seers who lived in Ibadan were revered. The magic they wielded over time helped every other magi clan survive. I smile, though in my heart I should have known. Mama's always had a sage sense about her, the wisdom of a person who's seen beyond her years. Before the raid, Mama Agba continues, I felt the magic sucked out of the air. I tried to conjure a vision of what would come, but when I needed it the most, I couldn't see. She winces as if reliving the pain of that day all over again. I can only imagine what horrible images play inside her mind. Mama shuffles over to their netted windows and pulls the sheet closed. What is she doing? Amari steps back as if Mama Agba could cut her. Since the raid, all I've heard are the harsh stops and guttural sounds of Orishan, the tongue we are forced to speak. It's been so long since I've heard an incantation, too long since the language of my people didn't only exist in my memories. Orun Mila, I translate as Mama Agba chants. Speak to me. She's calling on her god, I explain to Amari. She's trying to do magic. Though the answer comes with ease, even I can't believe what I'm seeing. Mama Agba chants with a blind faith, patient and trusting, just as those who follow the god of time are meant to be. As she calls on him for guidance, Arunmila for guidance, a pang of longing stirs in my heart. No matter what I've wanted to, I've never had enough faith to call on Oya like that. Is it safe? Amari presses against the wall when veins bulge against Mama Agba's throat. As part of the process, I nod. The cost of using our ashi. To cast magic, we must use the language of the gods to harness and mold the magic in our blood. For a practiced seer, this incantation would be easy, but with so many years of practice, it is probably drawing on all Mama Agba has. Ashe builds like another muscle in our bodies. The more we use, the easier it is to harness, and the stronger the magic becomes. Her breath turns more ragged with every word she chants. The wrinkles across her face stretch tight with strain. Harnessing Ashe takes a physical toll. If she tries to harness too much, she could kill herself. Arunmila. Mama Agba's voice grows stronger. A silver light begins to swell in her hands. The cosmos explode between Mama's hands with so much force that Amari and I are knocked to the ground. Amari screams, but my shout vanishes under the lump in my throat. The blues and purples of the night sky twinkle between Mama Agba's palms. My heart seizes at the beautiful sight. It's back. After all this time, magic is finally here. It's like a floodgate opening in my heart, an endless wave of emotion rushing through my entire being. The gods are back, alive, with us after all this time. The twinkling stars between Mama Agba's palms swirl and dance with one another. An image slowly crystallizes, sharpening like a sculpture before our eyes. With time, I can make out 3 silhouettes on a mountainous hill. They climb with relentless fury, making their way through thick underbrush. Skies, Amari curses. She takes a tentative step forward. Is that me? I snort at her vanity, but the sight of my cropped dashiki makes me stop. She's right. It's us and Zane, climbing through the jungle greenery. My hands reach for a rock while Zane guides Nyla by the reins to a ledge. We ascend higher and higher up the mountain, climbing till we reach the vision vanishes, snapping to empty air in the blink of an eye. The vision vanishes. Oh wait. We're left staring at Mama Agba's empty hands that have just changed my entire world. Mama's fingers shake from the strain of her vision. More tears spill from her eyes. I feel, she chokes between silent sobs. I feel like I can breathe again. I nod, though I don't know how to describe the tightness of my own heart. After the raid, I truly thought I'd never see magic again. When Mama Agba's hands are ready, she grasps the scroll, desperation leaking through her touch. She scans the parchment. From the movement of her eyes, I can tell she's actually reading the symbols. It's a ritual, she says, that much I can see. Something with an ancient origin, a way to connect with the gods. Can you do it? Amari asks, amber eyes shining with a mixture of awe and fear. She stares at Mama Agba as if she were made of diamonds, yet flinches when she draws near. It's not I who was meant to do this, child. Mama places this scroll in my hands. You saw the same vision as I. You cannot be serious, Amari stammers. For once I agree with her. What's there to argue? Mama asks. You three were on the journey. You were traveling to bring magic back. Is it not already here? Amari asks. What you just did. A fraction of what I could do before. The scroll sparks the magic, but to bring it to its full power, you must do more. There has to be someone better. I shake my head. Someone with more experience. You can't be the only magi to escape the raid. We can use your power to find someone for the scroll. Girls. We can't, I cut in. I can't. Baba, I'll take care of your father. But the guards. Don't forget who taught you how to fight. We don't even know what it says, Amari interrupts. We can't even read it. Mama Agba's eyes grow distant like an idea's taken hold in her head. She scurries over to the collection of her belongings, returning with a faded map. Here. She gestures to a spot in the Funmeleo jungle, a few days east of Iloran's coast. In my vision, you were traveling here. It must be where Chandomble is. Chandomble? Amari asks. A legendary temple, Mama Agba answers, rumored to be home of the sacred Centaurs, the protectors of magic and spiritual order. Before the raid, only the newly elected leaders of the 10 magic clans made the pilgrimage. But if my vision showed you traveling there, it must be your time. You must go. Chandomble may hold the answers you seek. The more she speaks, the more I lose feeling in my hands and feet. Why don't you understand? I want to scream. I'm not strong enough. Look at Amari. For a moment, I almost forget she's a princess. In the glow of Mama Agba's candles, she looks small, unsure of what to do next. Mama Agba places a wrinkled hand on my face and grabs Amari's wrist with the other. I know you're scared, girls, but I also know that you can do this. Of all the days to trade in Lagos, you went today. Of all the people you could have approached in the market, you chose her. The gods are at work. You have to trust that they wouldn't gamble with the fate of the Magi. Trust in yourselves. I release a deep breath and stare at the woven floor. The gods that once seemed so far away are closer now than I could ever imagine they could be. I just wanted to graduate today. I only need to sell a fish. Mama, help. A scream breaks through the calm of the night. In an instant, we're all on our feet. I grab my rod as Mama turns to the window. When she rips open the curtains, my legs go weak. Fire rages in the merchant quarter, every Ahiri engulfed in the roaring blaze. Plumes of black smoke tower into the sky with villagers' yells, cries for help as our world goes up in flames. A line of burning arrows cuts through the darkness. Each explodes as it makes contact with the reeds and wooden beams of the Ahiri. Blast of powder. A powerful mix only the king's guards could obtain. You, the voice in my head whispers in disgust, you brought them here. Now the guards won't just kill everyone I love, they'll burn the whole village to the ground. I'm out the door before another second passes, undeterred when Mama Agba shouts my name. I have to find my family. I have to make sure they're okay. With each step on the crumbling walkway, my home blazes into a living hell. The stench of burning flesh stings in my throat. The fires only raged a few minutes, yet all of Iloran fries in the flames. Help! I recognize the cries now. Little Bisi. Her cries cut through the darkness, desperate in her shrieks. My chest heaves as I sprint past Bisi Sahiri. Will she even make it out of the blaze alive? As I race home, villagers desperate to escape the flames jump into the ocean, their screams piercing the night sky. Coughing, they cling onto charred driftwood, fighting to stay afloat. A strange sensation rushes through me, surging it through my veins, trapping the breath in my chest. With it, warmth buzzes under my skin. A death. A spirit. Magic. I put the pieces together. My magic. Magic I still don't understand. A magic that's brought us to this hell. But even as embers burn my skin, I picture tighter summoning streams of water to fight the flames, burners keeping the blaze at bay. If more magi were here, their gifts could stop this horror. If we were trained and armed with incantations, the fire wouldn't stand a chance. A loud crack rings through the air. The wooden panels beneath my feet moan as I hear near the fisherman's sector. I run for as long as the walkway holds before launching myself into the air. Smoke sears my throat as I land on the teetering deck that supports my home. I can't see through the blaze, but I still force myself to act. Baba, I scream through my coughs, adding more cries to the chaos of the night. Zane! There's not an Ahiri in our sector that isn't engulfed in flames, yet still I run forward, hoping mine won't share the same fate. The walkway wobbles beneath my feet and my lungs scream for air. I tumble to the ground before my home, burned from the heat radiating off the flames. I scream till my throat rips raw, but no one answers my call. I can't tell if they're trapped inside. I can't see if they're even alive. I crawl to my feet and extend my rod, thrusting open our Ahiri door. I'm about to run in when a hand clamps my shoulder, pulling me back with so much force I topple over. Tears blur my vision. It's difficult to make out the face of my assailant. The soon flickering flames illuminate copper skin. Amari, you can't go in there, she screams between her coughs. It's coming down. I shove Amari to the ground with half a mind to drown her in the sea. When she releases her grip, I crawl toward my Ahiri. No. The reed walls we spent a full moon building collapses with a sharp crack. They burn through the walkway and into the sea, sinking to the bottom. I wait for Zane's head to pop up from the water, for Nyla to let out a roar of pain, but I see only blackness. In one sweep, my family's been wiped away. Zaylee. Amari grips my shoulder again. My blood boils under her touch. I grab her arm and yank forward, grief and rage fueling my strength. I'll kill you, I decide. If we die, you die too. Let your father feel this pain. Let the king know unbearable loss. Don't! Amari screams as I drag her to the flames, but I can barely hear her over the blood pounding in my ears. Please, Zaylee, stop. I release Amari and whip toward the open sea. Nyla paddles in the ocean water with Zane on her back. Trailing behind him, Baba and Mama Agba sit safely inside a coconut boat detached to Nyla's saddle. I'm so overwhelmed by the sight that it takes a moment to grasp that they're actually alive. Zane. The entire foundation of the fisherman's sector slants. Before we can jump, it goes down, taking us with it. Ice-cold water engulfs our bodies in a rush, soothing the burns I've forgotten. I allow myself to sink among the lumber and shattered homes. The darkness cleanses my pain, cooling the rage. You can stay down here, a small thought whispers. You don't have to continue this fight. But no matter how much I crave peace, the gods have other plans. Chapter 10. Zaylee. We float to a small inlet across from the northern coast in silence, unable to speak after such horror. Though the crashing waves grow loud, the memory of BC's screams crashes even louder in my head. 4 deaths. 4 people who couldn't escape the flames. I brought the fire to Lauren, their blood stains my hands. I grip my shoulders to keep everything inside as Mama Agba dresses our injuries with cloth ripped from her skirt. Though we made it through the flames, small burns and blisters dot our skin. But that pain is welcome, almost deserved. The sears on my skin are nothing compared to the guilt that scalds my heart. A sharp pressure clamps my stomach as the memory of a burnt corpse crystallizes behind my eyes. Charred skin peeling from every limb, the stench of burning flesh still coloring my every breath. They're in a better place. I try to ease my guilt. If their spirits have ascended to the peace of Elafia, death would almost be a gift. But if they suffered too much before they died, I close my eyes and try to swallow the thought. If the trauma of their death was too much, their spirits won't rise to the afterlife. They'll stay in Apati, an eternal hell, reliving the worst of their pain. When we land on the rocky stretch of sand, Zane helps Amari while I tend to Baba. I promised I wouldn't mess this up. Now our entire village is in flames. I stare at the jagged rocks, unable to meet my father's eyes. Baba should have sold me to the stocks. If he'd finally have peace. We can't run from this, Zaylee, not now. He takes my hands. This is the second time these monsters took our home. Let it be the last. Baba? I can't believe his fury. Since the raid, he hasn't whispered a single curse against the monarchy. I thought he'd given up all fight. As long as we don't have magic, they will never treat us with respect. They need to know we can hit them back. If they burn our homes, we can burn theirs too. Zane's mouth falls open and he locks eyes with me. We haven't seen this man in 11 years. We didn't even know he was still alive. Baba, take Nyla, he orders. The guards are close. We don't have much time. He points across the shore to the northern coast, where 5 figures in royal armor herd those survivors together. The flickering light of the flames illuminates the seal on one soldier's helmet. The captain. The same one who chased me and Amari. He burned my home to the ground. Come with us, Zane argues. We can't leave you behind. I can't, I'll only slow you down. But Baba, no. He cut Zane off, rising to place a hand on his shoulder. Mama Agba told me about her vision. It's you 3 who will lead the fight. You need to go to Chandomlé and find out how to bring magic back. My throat tightens. I clutch Baba's hand. They already found us once. If they're after us, they'll come after you too. We'll be long gone by then, Mama Agba assures me. Who better to evade the guards than a seer? How will we find you? I whisper. Bring magic back for good, Mama Agba says. As long as I have my visions, I'll always know where to go. You have to leave, Baba presses, forceful as a new round of screams rises out. Baba, no. I try to pull him forward, but he overpowers me, kneeling down to wrap his arms around my shaking frame. He holds me tighter than he has in years. Your mother, his voice cracks. A small sob escapes from my throat. She loved you fiercely. She would be so proud right now. I cling to Baba so hard that my nails dig into my skin. He squeezes me back before he rises to embrace Zane. We hold each other for a long moment as they never have to let go. I'm proud of you, son, no matter what. I'll always be proud. Zane hurriedly wipes his tears away. He's not one to show his emotions. He saves his pain for the isolation of night. I love you, Baba whispers to us both. We love you too, I croak. He gestures at Zane to mount Nyla. Amari follows, silent tears leaking onto her cheeks. Despite my grief, a prickle of anger flares. Why is she crying? Once again, her family is the reason mine is being torn apart. Mama Agba kisses my forehead and wraps her arms around me tight. Be careful, but be strong. I sniffle and nod, though I feel everything but strength. I'm scared, weak. I'm going to let them down. Take care of your sister. Baba reminds Zane as I mount the saddle, and Nyla, be good, protect them. Nyla licks Baba's face and nuzzles his head, a sign of a promise we'll always keep. My chest seizes when she walks forward, traveling away from my heart and my home. When I turn back, Baba's face shines with a rare smile. I pray we'll live to see that smile again. Chapter 11. Enon. Count to 10, I whisper to myself. Count to 10. Because when I finish counting, this horror shall end. The blood of the innocent will not stain my hands. 1, 2, I grip Father's signet pawn with a shaking hand, so tight the metal stings. The numbers rise, but nothing changes. Like a Lauren, all my plans have gone up in flames. My throat tightens when the village falls in a fiery blaze, taking the homes of hundreds with it. My soldiers drag the corpses through the sand, bodies charred beyond recognition. The shrieks of the living and the injured fill my ears. My tongue tastes like nothing but ash. So much waste, death. This was not my plan. Amari should be in one hand, the diviner thief chained in the other. Kai should have retrieved the scroll. Only the diviner's hut need have burned. If I had succeeded in returning the scroll, Father would have understood. But I failed again, after begging Father for another chance. Baba. I grab my blade as a small child hurls his body to the ground. His cries cut through the night. It's only then that I discover the sand-covered corpse at his feet. Baba. He grasps at the body, willing it to wake. The blood of the father stains the skin of his small brown hands. Ebony. A woman trudges through the wet sand. She gasps at the sight of the approaching guards. Ebony, no, you must be quiet. Barbara wants you to be quiet. I turn away and squeeze my eyes shut, forcing my bile down. Duty before self. Duty before self, I hear Father's voice. The safety of Orisha before my conscience. But these villagers are Orisha. They're the very people I've sworn to protect. This is a mess. Admiral Kaya stomps to my side, knuckles bloody from beating the soldier who lit the fire too soon and started the blaze. I fight the urge to walk over and beat him myself as he lies moaning in the wet sand. Get up and bind their wrist, Kaya barks at the ground before lowering her voice again. We don't know if the fugitives are dead or alive. We don't even know if they came back here. We'll have to round up the survivors. I release a frustrated breath. Hope that one of them... My voice trails off as a vile sensation crawls up my skin. Like in the market, the heat prickles my scalp. It pulses as a thin wisp of air floats toward me, a strange turquoise cloud cutting through the black smoke. Do you see that? I ask Kaya. I point, stepping back as the smoke slithers near. The strange cloud carries the scent of the sea, overwhelming the bite of ash in the air. See what? Kaya asks, but I don't have a chance to respond. The turquoise cloud passes through my fingers, a foreign image of the divinary gneiss in my head. The sound around me fades out, turning murky and muddled. The cold sea washes over me as the moonlight and fire fade from above. I see the girl who haunts my thoughts, sinking among the corpses and driftwood, falling into the blackness of the sea. She doesn't even fight the current that pulls her down. She relinquishes control, sinking into death. As my vision fades, I return to the screaming villagers and shifting sand. Something stings under my skin, the same bite that started when I last saw the diviner's face. Suddenly, all the pieces come together. The thrashing, the vision. I should have known all along. Magic. My voice twisted knots. I rake my nails over my tingling arm. I have to get this virus out of me. I need to rip the treacherous sensation from my skin. Enan, focus. I squeeze Father's Senate pawn so hard my knuckles crack. I swore to him I was prepared, but how in the skies could I have prepared for this? Count to 10, I whisper again, gathering all the pieces like pawns. By the time I hiss 5, a terrifying realization hits. The diviner girl has the scroll. The spark I felt when she brushed against me. The electric energy that surged through my veins. And when our eyes locked, skies, she must have infected me. Nausea turns inside my stomach. Before I can stop myself, this morning's roasted swordfish fights its way up. I double over as vomit burns my throat and hits the sand with a splash. Enan, Kaya wrinkles her nose as I cough, a hint of concern eclipsed by her disgust. She probably thinks me weak, but better that than her discovering the truth. I clench my fist, almost positive I can feel the magic attacking my blood. If magic can infect us now, they'll defeat us before we have a chance to take them out. She was here. I wiped my mouth on the back of my hand. The diviner with the scroll. We need to locate her before she hurts anyone else. What? Kaya's thin brows crease. How do you know? I open my mouth to explain when the sickening sting erupts under my scalp again. I turn. The prickle grows. It's strongest when I face the southern forest. Though the air stinks of charred flesh and black smoke, I catch the fleeting scent of the sea again. It's her. It has to be. Hiding among the trees. Enan, Kaya snaps. What do you mean? How do you know she's here? Magic. My grip tightens around the tarnished palm. My palm itches at the touch. The word feels dirtier than maggot. If I can hardly stomach the idea, how will Kaya react? A villager, I lie. He told me they went south. Where is the villager now? I point blindly at a corpse, but my finger lands on the scorched body of a child. Another turquoise cloud shoots toward me, all rosemary and ash. Before I can run away, the cloud passes through my hand with sickening heat. The world fades out in a wall of flames. Screams bleed into my ears. Help! Enan! I snap back to reality. A cold tide rushed over my boots. The beach. I squeeze the pawn. You're still on the beach. What happened? Kaya asks. You were moaning. I whip around, looking for the girl. She has to be behind this. She's using her wretched magic to fill my head with sounds. Enon, we should interrogate them. I ignore the concern in Kaya's eyes. If even one of the villagers knew where they were headed, another might have information too. Kaya hesitates and purses her lips. She probably wants to pry, but her duty as admiral comes first. It always will. We walk over to the surviving villagers. I focus on the tide to ignore their shrieks, but the screaming only grows louder as we draw near. 7, I count in my head. 8, 9. I am the son of Orisha's greatest ruler. I am their future king. Silence. My voice booms into the night with a power that doesn't feel like my own. Even Kaya gives me a surprised glance as the cries quiet into nothingness. We're looking for Zayli Adebola. She has stolen something valuable from the crown. We were told she's heading south, and now we need to know why. I scan the dark faces of those who refuse to meet my eyes, searching for any sign of truth. Their fear soaks into the air like humidity. It seeps into my own skin. Gods, please, if he kills me, in the gods' names did she steal? My heart slams against my chest as the voices attack and flickers, broken thoughts that threaten to overwhelm me. More turquoise clouds rise into the air. Like wasps, they dart toward me. I start to fall back into the blackness of my mind. Answer him. Thank the skies. Kai's bark pulls me back. A blink and grip the pommel of my sword. The smooth metal grounds me into reality. With time, their fear fades, but the unnerving sensation remains. I said, answer him, Kaya growls. Do not make me repeat myself. The villagers keep their gazes to the ground. In their silence, Kaya lunges. Screams erupt as she grabs an elderly woman by her gray hair. Kaya drags the moaning woman through the sand. Admiral. My voice chokes when Kaya unsheathes her sword. She places the blade against the woman's wrinkled neck. The single drop of blood falls onto the ground. You want to stay silent? Kaya hisses. Stay silent and you die. We don't know anything. A young girl cries out. Everyone on the beach freezes. The girl's hands are trembling. She shoves them into the sand. We can tell you about her brother and father. We can tell you of her skill with the staff. But not a soul in Aloran knows where she's gone or why. I give Kaya a stern look. She drops the woman like a rag doll. I trudge through the wet sand until I reach the girl. Her shaking intensifies as I approach, but I can't tell if it's her fear or the cold of the night tides licking her knees. All she wears is a soaked nightgown, ripped and frayed around her being. What's your name? Standing this close to her, I see how her oak-brown skin stands out against the darker chestnut and mahogany hues of the village. Perhaps there's some nobility in her blood, a father who played in the mud. When she doesn't answer, I bend down, keeping my voice low. The faster you answer, the faster we leave. Yummy, she chokes out. Her hands grip the sand as she speaks. I'll tell you everything you want to know, but only if you leave us alone. I nod, a simple concession. Duty or not, I don't want to see more bodies. I can't bear to hear more screams. I reach down and untie the rope binding her wrists. She flinches at my touch. Give us the information we need, and I promise your people will be safe. Safe? Yumi meets my eyes with a hatred that impales me like a sword. Though her mouth never opens, her voice rings in my skull. Safe ended a long time ago.